Hey guys, my name is Luke, and in this video we're going to be talking about pronunciation, how to say some of the more difficult names of the Avengers, because honestly, some of them are not that easy. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe, and also check out my courses in the links in the description. Alright, let's begin. There's a really common pronunciation issue for English learners, and it's also an issue for many of my students. So this is going to be a pronunciation lesson. And the issue is, I want to talk about movies. I want to have conversations with my native English-speaking friends about movies. But I'm not quite sure how to say the names of many of the characters in this movie. For example, Avengers. Right? This is a movie which just came out, so maybe you want to talk about that. But I'm not quite sure how to say this character's name or that character's name. Many of the names are weird. Not everyone is called Joe, right? There are some pretty weird names in movies like Avengers. Yes. So, what we need to do is go over the pronunciation of the names, many of the names, so that you feel confident, comfortable with the pronunciation, so that when you have conversations with your friends, you don't need to worry about that part, and you can just talk about whatever you want to talk about, why you liked the movie or why you didn't like the movie. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through many of the names in Avengers that are difficult to say. I'm going to say it for you and explain how to say it, each sound in each word. Okay? That's what we'll do. Now, before we do that, I have a request. If you're watching this video in 6 months or a year, great. I hope you're enjoying the future. I hope it's nice. But today, I have a request. If you're watching this video right after it is posted, please, 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 please do not post any spoilers in the comments. If you've seen the movie, no spoilers, please. I haven't seen it yet. Today is Thursday. Okay, I'm going to watch it on Sunday. That's the earliest time I could go. I'm very excited. I want to see it. But I don't want to know what happens.
What did I just say?
You said Spider-Man's in space.
Oh, that thing. Right, yeah. It's really awesome.
It's like Men in Black. Every 20 seconds, we just wipe it.
So if you post any spoilers in the comments, I will hit you in the face with a salmon. And that's a promise. Actually, the word Avengers is often mispronounced. A lot of people saying this word will say instead Avengers. Avengers. So you have to be careful about the V sound and the W sound. When you say Avengers, your bottom lip needs to come up to your teeth. V. Doesn't need to be here. Va. No, just on the inside of your bottom lip. V. Otherwise, it sounds like a W. Avengers. Don't know what that means. Avengers. Oh, Avengers. Did you see Avengers? Yeah, I saw Avengers. Did you see Avengers? Avengers? What's Avengers? I don't know that. Okay, so be careful with that one. Make sure you make the V sound correctly. Now, the main villain, the main bad guy in this movie, at least I think, I'm assuming the main bad guy in this movie, and the main villain in the last movie was Thanos. Now, one common mistake when you say Thanos' name is to not say the TH sound, and to say instead Thanos. Thanos, with an S sound. Incorrect. You have to be very careful, because people, when they hear Thanos, what's Thanos? Thanos. Never heard of Thanos. Is it a new character? Is there a new character? Thanos? Make sure. I know it's not easy. Make sure your tongue comes out a little bit, so that it's here, between your teeth, and then not th, not that, but th, no voice. Begin the voice after the th. The first time you use your voice should be when you say Thanos. No. Nos is the same as saying no, but it's not nose, it's nos. So Thanos. Now, in the last movie, in Infinity War, the name of the last one was Infinity War, Thanos was trying to get the Infinity Stones. Now, that one can be tough to say, right? That's not easy to say that word. Infinity. infinity. One thing that can make it a little easier is to change the t sound to a light D sound. So instead of saying infinity, 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 we can say infinity, infinity, infinity. So there's sort of a light D sound there instead of a T sound. And instead of saying infinity, we can say n. Instead of n, we say n. So it can be a little more relaxed. So let's say that one more time. Infinity, 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 infinity. Okay, so now let's get to some of the main heroes, and we'll start with the very first Avenger, I believe, Iron Man, right? Iron Man. It's very important when you say his name to make sure the N gets in there. If you say Iron Man, that's unclear. You have to make sure the iron N is there before you change to the M. Iron's coming out of my nose. When you say that N sound, all the air should be coming out of here, and you're lifting the tip of your tongue up to block the air from coming out of your mouth. Iron Man, Iron Man. And then you just bring your lips together to begin the M sound of Iron Man. Now, another common mistake for this one is Iron Man. So if I say Iron Man, my mouth is way too wide. It looks like an A. Iron. That's incorrect, right? It should be I. So it goes from A to E. Iron, Iron, Iron Man, Iron Man. His name, by the way, Tony. Tony. Just like toe and just like knee. Tony. The next one is Thor, and Thor is easy to mispronounce for the same reason that Thanos is easy to mispronounce, so you have to be careful about the TH. The problem with this one is that if you don't say it correctly, it's going to sound like a completely different word. Thanos is not a word, but soar is a word. Soar is a word, so you have to be extra careful because people will definitely misunderstand you and think you're saying a completely different word if you don't put your tongue between your teeth. And again, there's no voice under the TH, so we don't say Thor, but it's Thor, Thor, Thor. And you need to make sure the R sound is the last sound and is very clear. If it's Thor, it sounds too much like AW, so it should be very clearly Thor. The next one is the Hulk, and this actually happened to me once in a conversation. I was talking with one of my students, and my student was saying, the Hawk, the Hawk. Now, I thought my student was talking about Hawkeye. I thought my student was saying the Hawk, meaning to say Hawkeye. You know, the lame one with the bow and arrow? That's the one.
This year I played an extra in Pop Arts. And I can open a pickle jar. The friggin' Hawkeye. Maybe I'm as super as they are.
In fact, what my student meant was Hulk. So that's a little bit tricky, right? One is aw, and that's hawk. The other one is hull. So notice when I say aw, my mouth changes. Aw. But when I say hull, my mouth is a little bit more narrow, and I'm not moving my mouth at all. It's totally still and pretty relaxed. So Hulk. And I'm actually bringing my tongue up behind my teeth. Hulk. The Hulk. Doctor Strange. Now, a lot of people mix up doctor and daughter and doctor. So it's just very important for that one to have the doctor. If that's in there, that kt sound, then you won't mix up doctor and daughter. Strange can be a little bit difficult. So when you say Doctor Strange, j, make sure you say just a J sound and nothing else. Don't add an I've heard a couple people add Dr. Stranger, with an extra sound after it. Strange should be a one-syllable word, not a two-syllable word. Strange, stranger, strange. That's a two-syllable word. Should be one. Strange. Strange. Like strain, that word, plus a J added onto it. Strange. Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange. Captain America. Captain America. Not my favorite character, but anyway, how do we say it clearly? One of the common mistakes for captain is to say captain, and add an extra sound between p and t. Don't do that. Cap, and then go directly into the T sound. Captain. And we don't say tain America. It looks like tain, right? We just say tin. Captain. All right? So you can't hear a sound between the P and the T. How about America? Well, sometimes people just say Americ. Captain Americ. Where's the Where's the America. You have to make sure that sound is very clear at the end. And also, I've heard a few people say Captain American. American is the adjective, so it should be the name of the country. Captain America. Captain America. Oh, one more thing about Captain America very quickly. Notice I'm not saying Captain America. Captain America. Captain America. You can blend those together by saying na. Captain America. Yeah, that makes it more natural. Gamora. One of my favorite characters. Gamora. Notice I'm not saying Gamora. Whenever we say pretty much any word, some syllables in the word will be stressed more than others. When we say Gamora, which syllable are we stressing? Are we putting focus on? Are we stressing g or more or It's a 3-syllable word. Gamora. Well, we're stressing more. So when we don't stress a word, often we'll make the vowel sound within that syllable weaker. And it actually doesn't sound like the letter sounds by itself. So instead of saying Gamora, we'll just say Gamora. And that helps make it sound a lot more natural. And actually, I think it makes it easier to say. So this one is Gamora. Scarlet Witch. Now notice when I say Scarlet Witch, I'm not saying the T sound. Because if I say Scarlet Witch or Scarlet Witch, it sounds a little bit too clear. It sounds like I'm trying too hard, and it doesn't sound natural. So here we'll do a stopped T. That means we're going to basically not say it, but still have a pause. So instead of saying scarlet, we'll say scarlet. There's still a pause there. I'm not saying Scarlet Witch. No, you can't blend those together like that. You still have to have the pause, right? The pause has to be there, but we don't need to say the T. So, Scarlet Witch. And there we are saying the W sound, so make sure it's witch, not vitch. Witch. Short I sound. Scarlet Witch. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. AKA, by the way, means also known as. Sometimes you'll hear people say AKA. Peter Parker, AKA Spider-Man. Tony Stark, AKA Iron Man. Bruce Banner, AKA the Hulk. AKA, also known as. Anyway, Peter Parker is a little bit harder to say than Spider-Man. Spider-Man is pretty easy, I think. Peter Parker is not so easy. And just like Scarlet Witch, we want to do something with the T to make it a little more natural. So if we say Peter Parker, it sounds like we're trying too hard. Let's change the T to a light D sound. Peter Parker. We don't want to make that a very strong D sound. If we say Peter Parker, that sounds very strange, and people will say, why are you saying Peter? I don't know that word. I'm going to throw a fish at you if you say it again. It's going to be a salmon, and you're not going to like it. Make it lighter. So it's Very light. It's a light D. Peter Parker. Peter Parker. Vision. All right, now this one can be a little difficult even though it's very short, just because you have two tough sounds together, the V sound and the Z sound. So when you say the V sound, just like we talked about before, make sure that V is very clear, touching your bottom lip to your top teeth. But then immediately you have to go to Z. Now it's not a J sound, it's not J. That's too hard. J, too hard. It's softer. You're taking the sh plus the and putting them together. One of the common mistakes for this one is that it's pronounced vision, with no voice under it. So if you say Vision, my favorite character is Vision because he's so red, that's fine, I guess. But if you really want to say his name correctly, you will say Zh, and so it would be Vision. My favorite character is not Vision because he's so red. Drax, aka Drax the Destroyer. That's actually his full name. He hasn't destroyed very many things so far. He's more of just a comedic character. But anyway, that is his full name. Even though it's a very short name, it can be a bit difficult to say. Now, Drax has an A sound, so we should say dra. So you have to be able to say dra, not dri. Okay, not dry, dra, like apple, drapple, Drax. The last sound is also really important. This is x. So I've heard some people say dras, just an S sound. It's not correct. Before that S sound, you have to have the K sound. It's just like the pronunciation of attacks. If someone says attacks, it's a different spelling, but that x at the end is exactly the same. Attacks, right? So when you see X at the end of a word, or often in the middle of a word, it's going to be often, but not always, x. Imagine it spelled with a K and an S. Drax. Alright, so hopefully now you feel more comfortable and more confident about using these words in conversations. If you have any other questions about any of the words or names we didn't talk about, let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time.